back, everybody, to another Just Talking Ball podcast. Today we're going to be recapping the Chargers Broncos game. It's not just going to be me today. I got Joel. He's from one of my uh, older podcasts. I mean, not older, it was only like two or three ago, where we did Broncos predictions. Uh, and that was lots of fun. So we got him back here today. Uh, I really appreciate it if you guys could like, subscribe, share, do whatever you think is worthy of support here, and that'd be much appreciated. So, without further ado, I guess we just get right into this mess of a game, kind of. So, going into
Let's dive in. Let's do it.
yes, sir. So, I don't know about you, Joel, but my expectations going into this game was it would be a very tough game. I wasn't confident we'd win exactly, but I didn't see it going like that at all.
Yeah, no, I could say I share pretty much the same sentiment, especially with how the Chargers looked week one and two. It looked like they were miles better than us, but I mean, it was a really tough game, as all divisional games are.
Yeah, yeah, it was just a brutal game, kind of all around there. I mean, again, I was expecting our offense to kind of struggle. I wasn't really expecting our run game to struggle like it did in the first half. Um, but the defense did really good. They kind of surprised me. I thought we would kind of get cooked the whole game, instead it was just the fourth quarter. Uh,
Oh yeah, I mean, they came to play, especially in that first half, third quarter as well. I mean, they really redeemed themselves from the Colts game.
I mean, yeah, it was really they kind of on that Herbert touchdown to Allen. They kind of did everything right. I mean, obviously, it would have just been better if he didn't even release the ball and we could have actually sacked him. But it was a
Yeah,
incredibly hard play to make.
100%.
So yeah,
Yeah, that's just elite execution from two guys that have that obvious connection that's built upon years, elite quarterback and veteran wide receiver. Nothing you can really do there.
yeah. And then yeah, the final drive they just kind of got walked down on. I don't know what really happened there. That was kind of a brutal final drive to give up the game-winning field goal.
Yeah, and I think it goes back to even before that. I mean, it's only when you have a legendary defense like the 2015 one, I guess you can count on them to bail you out every time, but it's just too many possessions we gave the Chargers, and inevitably that dam is going to break.
Yeah, yeah. You can only hold them so many times, and especially at the start of the offense, just kept giving the ball back, and that yeah, kind of used all of our stops up at the beginning of the game.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We might get into it later. Don't want to bury the lead here, but I mean, the offense had a lot of chances to close this game out. I think the defense did enough, and asking for them to get a stop there was a little unrealistic. And I think the offense could have definitely put this game away.
Yeah, for sure. Um, so just I guess going through some points now that I got from the game. Penalties were absolutely terrible, just left and right, all throughout the game. It was just penalties. It felt like a flag on almost every play. I wasn't even surprised when I would see a flag at a certain point.
Right.
I mean, just super
I mean, yeah.
undisciplined.
Penalties have plagued this team for years, and
Yeah,
it's really hard, and it sucks to see like half of your playbook is cut when you can't even run outside without a holding call on one of the tight ends.
yep, yeah. I mean, just for everything Sean said before he became coach of this team, with the amount of penalties and not getting play calls off on time. That's really it's kind of been ironic with the way we've still kind of struggled with that for somebody who was supposed to come in and fix that. Um, I mean, to me, really, it's gone better, but it hasn't really. It's still a problem, I think.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I mean, he touched on it a lot in his press conference that really hurt the offense a lot, that the average was third and 11 and a half. I
Mhm.
mean, penalties decimate this team. This is a team that really thrives, especially on offense, on just staying ahead of the chains and, one holding penalty, one offensive face mask, offensive offside. I mean, really, how are we lined
Yeah,
up
that
offside
was.
on offense?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, especially for a team. like Sean's, who we run lots of screens. Lots of guys are coming from the other side of the field to block. You cannot be holding. You cannot be offsides. Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's just brutal.
I mean, yeah, definitely has cost them the last two games if you really think about it. I
Yeah.
mean, that Troy Franklin offensive pass interference in the red zone, that's where I was talking. I mean, we have the ball
Hmm.
up 17-13. If we go up 24-13, I think the game is over. I don't think that the Chargers have a chance to come back at that point. But settling for three there, losing 10 yards, man, that's huge. And last week too, J.K. Dobbins, I mean, just a mental thing. If he doesn't spike the ball after that run, maybe Will Lutz is kicking a shorter field goal. We're not hitting the upright. We're having a completely different conversation today.
I mean, yeah, we could have honestly, if J.K. didn't do that a couple games ago, we could have gone in for a touchdown. But yeah,
Yeah, easily.
yeah. And then another thing that I kind of got from this game is our blocking. It had its very good moments, but it was also pretty. I don't want to say bad, but it wasn't what we saw last year. I felt like we were giving up lots of pressure, and then especially
Hmm.
the run blocking was terrible to start the game. As soon as RJ, who only got 2 carries, but it happened on both of his, as soon as he got the ball, he had a defender right in his face.
Right. Yeah, definitely. I mean, the again, that end of the second towards the third quarter is kind of where the bulk of the rushing came. I mean, a guy like J.K., he really played his heart out, especially in those two quarters to make it look better than it was. If we take away those two, three drives, this is really was an abysmal rushing attack.
Yeah, and then I
And it
mean,
is the blocking too. I mean,
yep,
even on one of Bo's overthrows, you see he gets put in the dirt. I mean, he's just really
yeah,
um, simple routine stunt that the Chargers put just rushing forward and he's on the ground. That it can't happen.
yeah. I mean, I saw on a couple plays Wattenberg, he just got absolutely pushed around. One play he doubled somebody and just left his man. Um, it just seems like lots of
Yeah.
miscommunication, and that goes back to the pre-snap penalties and just pre-snap miscommunication, delayed games. Um, I mean, we almost had one of those again today. So I mean, yeah,
Yeah, for sure. That ball, I mean, this has been a theme with Sean's offense since he got here. There's a lot of times we break the huddle with 8 seconds left. What can you really adjust with 8 seconds at the line? I mean, his
exactly.
verbiage, his play calling is really long and a lot of personnel changes. You got to really be sharp when you line up, and a lot of our guys seem to not be too locked in.
Yeah. Um, I mean, we've touched on this already, kind of, but the offense was just it was bad. Bo missed 3 deep throws, and if he hits just one of those, we win this game. I'm really confident in that. And obviously, if he hits all 3 of them, then we score 41 points. It's just
Yeah.
we could have won by 20. Instead, we lost by 3 because of 3 plays.
And I mean, not to get too deep into the woods of the Broncos country conversation on Twitter, but I mean, that's just the difference between having an elite quarterback and not. I mean, no, not going to say I'm losing faith in Bo or that I'm completely out on Bo. I know yesterday had a lot of us frustrated for
Oh yeah,
sure,
oh yeah,
but those are just things he's got to hit. I mean, you look at how the Chargers even tied the game. That Justin Herbert's rolling out to his left, he's throwing pretty much across his shoulder, and he's got somebody right in his face, and it's a dime. Riley Moss is um, all over the receiver there, and it's still right in the bucket. So when you got no pressure, you got to set your feet and hit those throws.
yeah, exactly. And even one time, I think it was on the Sutton throw on our final drive, he did set his feet, but he still just missed him. Um,
Yeah. Hmm.
and then just
And
the Sean had some really bright moments. I think scheming up those deep balls and getting them, and then the one that they actually connected on Sutton and Bo. Um, I think Sean called a solid game, but the way he talks about getting running backs involved and JK, his carries have gone down each week. And RJ had 2 carries yesterday. I just we cannot have that, especially with him saying RJ's integral to this offense. I just find that completely ridiculous, and it's just hurting us.
Yeah, big time. I mean, JK, he wants to get revenge on this team. Like, let's feed him the ball, especially the way he was playing. Even on his touchdown, that I think, if I'm not mistaken, the ball gets a little deflected, or it's just a really bad pass, and he snags it one hand, stiff arm, and he goes and makes a play. Like, this is clearly an inspired back. Let's go get this 100-yard rusher. Let's pound the rock. That'll probably help us get in front of the sticks. I mean, the run blocking was bad all day, but I mean, what's RJ Harvey going to do with 2 carries, right?
Yeah,
Like you
exactly.
said, he comes in every week and is always saying that this guy is going to be a key piece to the offense. Um, K. Adams was trying to pin him as another like mini Joker, and he's getting 2 carries. It's again, I agree with you that he called a pretty good game. I don't think we can really pin this one on Sean too much. There's a couple decisions that um, is up for debate, but I think for the most part, pretty sound game as far as how it went.
Yeah. I mean, RJ, he's averaging 4 carries per game, and he's averaging 6 yards on those carries. Um, that's just like it makes zero sense why we don't use him more. I mean, it's just kind of ridiculous, honestly. And
I mean,
then,
I'm not sure what it is that he's lacking to get on the field. If it's his pass protection, I mean, I think we can live with that. You've seen guys like Janty and Hampton get thrown in there and they get thrown around, but how else are they going? Is he going to get reps? Just sitting on the bench watching JK and Tyler Bidet get those snaps.
yeah, I mean, again, to touch on JK again, he only had 11 carries and he averaged 7.5 yards on those carries. Like, I would have just been feeding him the rock and not passing at all until he got stopped by the line. Especially on the drives where he was cooking. It's just, yeah, I
Hmm.
get it.
For sure. But I think it's also the penalty thing too. I mean,
Oh yeah,
we were getting a good gain, maybe like 2, 3 yards, and then we have a holding. Now in like second and 20 or second and 18. It's kind of hard to dial up a good run there. And if we did, the Chargers were all over it um, all day. And it's something they've done throughout the first 3 games this year of swarming the running backs. But like you said, I mean, Dobbins didn't have too many carries, and he still was able to churn out 88 yards. So who knows what could have happened if he got 20 touches.
yeah, yeah. We would have had our first 100-yard rusher, I would kind of assume, in a long time.
Yeah, we might have had more time of possession. We could have had the ball in Justin Herbert's hands less, which I think is key to beating any elite quarterback. Um, our defense bailed us out a lot, and it's good for them to have a bounce back from not being able to even sniff Daniel Jones. But I mean, yeah, half of that has to go onto the offense too for this one.
Um, Something else that kind of uh, really jumped out to me about this game is Sutton was the only, apart from JK, he was the only bright spot on offense. Um, After last week only having 1 catch, it seemed like he was open every play. I was really impressed with that, and
Yeah,
um, he always showed up when we needed him. And then on that last play of our final drive, Bo missed him. We could have won the game right there, but yeah,
yeah. I mean, great bounce back from him as well. A lot of the things that we're saying, it sucks that we have to talk about this in a loss because the team, when you really put all of it into perspective, they played a really sound game that probably deserved a W, but they made just 3 or 4 mistakes that really has us now somber in our recap here that we are now in the hole 1-2 because we really could have came away with this game. But
yeah,
yeah, shout out to Court, man. He really stepped up after being non-existent last week.
yeah, that was just huge. Um, so today, I mean, not today, yesterday, Bo was just it 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 shows up as a okay game when you just look at the stats, but man alive, it was a pretty brutal game from him. He was getting into pressure they didn't need to, couldn't set his feet. Everybody's saying that. It's true. And again, just those he left 3 touchdowns on the board, and one of them would have been a dagger to end the game. I guess it might have not been a touchdown. Court probably would have gone down, but yeah, just brutal game from
Yeah,
Bo,
it
really.
would at least give you a chance to run out the clock there,
Yeah,
kick a field goal, walk off of our own.
yeah. I mean, I'm not positive, but I'm pretty sure. No, that wasn't within the 2 minute warning, was it?
It was just before.
Yeah,
I think it was like with 2:40 or something left on the clock.
yeah. It was with 2 minutes exactly on the clock. So
Oh, yeah, there we go.
yeah. So I mean, we really just one first down after that, and we got to win pretty much as long as Lutz makes it. Yeah, just cannot have all those misses from Bo.
Yeah, no, and even being there, I had the opportunity to have some pretty decent seats where I could see kind of the whole field, um, while also not being too far up. And he just looked, I don't know, he looks a little like a rookie back there. Every time he dropped back, my heart stopped. He was looking really shaky. Even on that flea flicker throw, I mean, it kind of seemed like he thought there was rushers there that weren't there. He had a pretty clean pocket that he could have just took a beat, set up and throw. I mean, he had Troy wide open on that play as well. He
Mm,
had Troy and Mims both running down the field, just nobody within 10 yards. But he just sprinted forward for who knows what reason. Even watching it live, when I saw the ball come back to him, I'm like, wow, there's nobody there. And he kind of sprinted away. I was like, who's he running from?
yeah.
It's really odd that, and I wonder what happens in practice. Is he just doing this in game? Is this something that doesn't happen regularly? Just because I think it's something that Webb or Sean would definitely hammer into him all week.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I remember last year from the Saints game, he missed. I want to say Kroll. It was in between Kroll and Troy. I feel like he kind of
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
struggles when he has two people wide open. He doesn't he panics on who to pass it to, and that's not exactly what happened with Mims there, but it definitely could have impacted it. Having Troy wide open right next to him, so yeah, I don't know what's going on with Bo. Like you said, he's looking like a rookie again. Really, in the middle of the season last year, I was very confident in him throwing the football. He would drop back, and I would not be worried about him turning it over or putting the ball really in harm's way. But that's completely gone this year. Every time he releases the ball, I'm on the edge of my seat because I don't know where he's throwing it. Um, and yeah,
Right. He's lacking the confidence and swagger that we saw a lot from him last year. I
hmm
mean, there's times last year where he was in the zone. I mean, looking at the Falcons game, looking at, granted, it's against backups, but week 18 against the Chiefs, he would really get into a zone where he was just diamond, standing back there, standing tall, setting his feet, and just finding his guys. But yesterday was just really prime example of that is gone completely. He drops back and he, for lack of a better term, he just looks terrified dropping back
yes,
behind this
yeah,
offensive line.
yeah. I mean, I don't know if you mentioned practice. That kind of made me think maybe our D line is abusing our O line in practice. So it's just kind of becoming a second nature thing. But I feel like that'd be the case for a lot of QBs, and yeah, it's just something that can't happen. I mean, he's really good at evading
Right.
pressure and sensing it sometimes and getting away from it, but I feel like he's kind of always in the panic mode, and he's got to figure out how to manage that because when he is managing it right, like you said, the Falcons game and then the Chiefs game, I don't care. It was against backups because he completed what 12 passes in a row to start the game.
Yeah,
Um,
he hit. He was perfect. I think he only missed one pass, and it's because Javante, is not the
yeah,
greatest athlete. If it was he's throwing that ball to
yeah,
receivers, he probably doesn't miss that whole first half.
yeah. I mean, it was just yeah. I don't know what's going on with Bo. It's definitely a mental thing. There's nothing. I mean, his arm is there. He's getting the ball to the receivers. He's overthrowing them. Um, so I mean, it's not a talent thing or anything. It's just pure mental, and that can that's one of the hardest things to get out of, especially as a quarterback. I feel like.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, the good thing is that the whole team has his back. I mean, it could be a good or a bad thing, but I would hope that it's a good thing for both, that everybody still has some confidence in him. We don't have any locker room issues,
I don't know,
or
not
we
at
don't
all.
have something outward like the Malik Neighbors, Russell Wilson thing from week one, right? We don't have
Yeah,
any incidents like that going on the team. So really, yeah, he just has to get out of this funk. I think next week will be a good opportunity against a subpar defense to just get his confidence back. I mean, I don't think, despite what some other people have said, I don't think he has to throw for 505 TDs, but just to, it's like in basketball, just watching the ball go through the net,
yeah,
just get
exactly.
a couple completions, just have one good game of consistent offense
Yeah,
and just kind of put it back in his brain that he can be better than what he is right now.
yeah. I mean, next week is a much more important game. I feel like than people realize. Especially for Bo, it's a game for him to get confidence back, like you said, and it's the perfect time to do it. He's gonna have the ball a lot. Um, I mean, Browning showed nothing to be like worried about with the Bengals holding the ball for a long time or something like that. He's gonna have the ball a lot, and like you say, he's gonna be playing a subpar defense who mentally, I'm not sure they even care really. I feel like the Bengals are kind of, even though they're 2-1, they're kind of a mess right now. Um, so I mean, it's a game we have to go in and take care of business, and it's a game where Bo really needs to show up and show us what he can do still.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I mean, he's still, despite again all the jokes, he's still a young quarterback. It's year two. I mean, this guy shouldn't be falling quite yet. I mean, these are games that we lost back to back to teams who now are 3-0, both the Colts and the Chargers, who are going to be there at the end of the season if things keep trending the way it is. But I think just across Broncos country, and I'm sure you feel the same way. I mean, we were sold throughout the whole preseason, all the local media saying this team is on fire, this offense looks different. You got Kay Adams coming in and saying, oh, this is a team that can make the Super Bowl. So we're losing to those quote unquote elite teams right now, but kind of
Yeah,
feels like we should be up there as well? So it's tough to give those types of games away. You never know what impact they'll have later on in the season.
I mean, yeah, I completely agree. It's football's a sport where you can't get too complacent early. Like if you're struggling early, you can't say, "Oh, we got however many more games ahead of us," because real soon that'll only be 7 more games. So you cannot dig yourself into too much of a hole. And we're blessed really to be playing the Bengals next week.
Yeah, for sure.
Uh,
Um, and going into Philly too, like again, this is a big game for this team. You can't have another game like the Colts one where the offense has a good game and all of a sudden Jake Browning is cooking our defense. This has to be like a real cohesive. Again, I'm not asking for what the Vikings did, a 50-point blowout or anything, but it just has to be one game where this team looks like the 2024 Broncos.
exactly. Just go out there, win by at least 20. Pretty much just make it feel like it's a guaranteed dub the whole game. That's really what I want to see.
Yeah, of course. Want to see another, Falcons game 2.0 would be ideal.
For sure. Another point from this game, we talked about how the defense really, I mean, apart from some penalties here and there, they kind of played perfect. Can't really ask much more from them, but Singleton, he's somebody that you can ask more from, and it's just time he should not be getting as many reps as he is. Um, it felt like that final drive, especially, they just picked on the middle of the field, and Singleton was at the heart of pretty much every play there. He's just not a good player really anymore. Uh, and we got some young guys. It can't hurt to put them out there and see what they got.
Definitely. I mean, you can see why Singleton has so many tackles, right? He's always at the scene of the crime.
Yep.
but not in a good way. He should be covering that person, breaking up the pass, not tackling him 13 yards down the field. I mean, even on that, what was it, their second drive, I think, opening second drive where they got the 3 points. That's on him. PS2
Oh yeah.
has
Yep.
whoever it was wrapped up, and he's coming and hitting him off of him, and he's getting a big play. Again, we lost by three. That's game-changing error at the
Yeah.
beginning of the game. You just can't have things like that happen. And yeah, it's tough to ask somebody to come back from an injury like that, considering this was the kind of play he was giving us even before that. And now he's lost a step. Yeah, I think
It's
it's time to pass the reins over. I know he's a captain, and Sean will probably keep him in there the whole season. But going forward, I mean, not to look too far ahead, but going into 2026, he cannot we cannot go into another season with him as our starting inside linebacker.
yeah. No, there's no reason he should be on this team next year, really.
No, no, not at all.
And then Riley Moss, he played a okay game, but still, he has good moments, and then he has completely brutal, sometimes game changing moments. Uh, he again, he's a solid player, but it's you can't really explain it apart from he just gets beat sometimes. That's really bad.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it in the prediction podcast episode where he is definitely the guy with the shortest leash in the secondary. And I mean, he's a good depth piece. I think he would be great if he was cornerback three, but he can't be one of our starters. Opposite of PS2, just too much of a liability back there. He'll have some, even on the touchdown, right? He has perfect coverage. It barely misses his swinging arm, and it's just a dot. But you just can't help but think, man, what if it was PS2 in coverage there? What if it was Barron? You know, do you really think that that ball is squeezed in there? I mean, we can't know, obviously, but it's definitely a topic of conversation. There's a lot of even ones that go unnoticed, like he's just letting easy first downs go on some routes where he's just playing off coverage and dudes are running to the sticks, catching it in front of him.
And I mean, especially pairing that with when you're running some type of cover one or just anything where a linebacker, his job is to kind of help on the middle of the field. Moss and Singleton are a terrible combo to have there. It's just
Yeah, can't ask
as
for much worse.
Moss is already protecting the outside more than anything, but it's also his job to, if he does get targeted, to hopefully get a pass breakup, and if not, to tackle him where he is. But you can't really do that with Singleton because he's just standing there, and yeah, it's just those two
Yeah, it just
definitely.
always seems a step. Those two definitely always just seem like one step behind every
Mhm.
time.
Yeah, I'm
Singleton two or three, but
yeah, yeah. Singleton's
we'll
always
give him
more than
credit.
one step. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of concerning to me that we're not trying to integrate CAD a little bit in this defense. I don't think he got. I'm definitely probably wrong on this, but I don't think he got like almost any defensive snaps yesterday, and that really can't be happening when you have a question mark like Riley Moss. You got to see what your other options can do, and not seeing that is concerning because it kind of makes me feel like we're just
Yeah,
riding Moss.
especially he had a great game last year on Thursday night against the Chargers. He even got himself an interception. Like, why was he not out there? And I agree. Even I don't remember really seeing him out there unless it was for special teams.
Yeah. And he was, I mean, he seems like a good tackler. He was making plays on special teams. He seemed to always kind of be around the ball on special teams. I don't see why that wouldn't translate to defense, and we kind of saw that a little bit last year. So I just I don't understand how Vance is utilizing his personnel. And I don't really understand how Sean utilizes his personnel with the running backs either. It's our coaching has some question marks in that department.
Yeah, two very similar and peculiar situations. We have a young talent in Abrams Drain. Why is he not out there? at least somewhere. I mean, there's room for him. It's not like Riley Moss is this elite cornerback who we're just holding out hope on. Like he's
No.
also a young player. Um, a little bit unproven. When he came back from injury, he got torched in that Bengals game. And I think he gets some credit for that because it was Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. But I
Yeah.
mean, that's who we're going to be facing in the playoffs. We're not going to be going up against, I don't even want to disrespect anybody right now, but we're not going to be going up against the Adam Thielens of the
No.
world. You know, we're going to be going up against elite offenses. Like, this is just what it is. If we really want to make that next jump, he really can't be a starter
I
alongside
mean,
PS2.
in my opinion, next week, like you said, Higgins and Chase, they're great receivers. But with who's going to be throwing them the ball, if Riley gets cooked like that again, there's no reason he should be starting, in my opinion. Again, he's playing against good receivers, but the QB is just bad. Like, there's no way we can get beat by Browning.
Man, don't be so sure with this team.
Yeah, I know. I
Um,
know.
the whole we gotta hope that we play a sound game. Hopefully, this is the week that we get it all together because it's kind of been staggering. Week one, bad offense, good D. Week two, good offense, bad D, and then week three, mediocre offense and great defense. Hopefully, this is the week now where we can have it come all together, and we should win pretty comfortably. Um, but with Moss, yeah, that's a great point. He's same receivers. It's time for him to make a claim because the following week it doesn't get any easier. Now we have AJ Brown and Devontae Smith to worry about after Jamar Chase and T Higgins.
And the Eagles, they started throwing the ball downfield, and that's scary. So yeah, that's we got two really
Yeah,
hard uh, receiver matchups for our secondary in these next 2 weeks.
but I mean, if
Something.
this is the Super Bowl team that we've, sorry, not to, just before we move on, if this is the Super Bowl
Yeah,
team
you're good.
that
You're good.
we've all come to want or have hoped for, or I guess our local media has seen throughout training camp, then this is the time to make that statement. Let's come out and get back to back wins. Let's go win on the road in Philly and show that we can do that. If not, there's a lot of season left, but like you said, that can really become that that can only be a statement for so long.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, yeah, completely agree with what you said there. Um, Something else I've noticed from this game is we already touched on RJ, but Pat Bryant just he is not being utilized. We kind of saw this last year with Troy and Vele, but I feel like they were getting used more than this. Both rookies, just two guys we spent higher draft picks on. They're just not getting used, and you cannot have that. It's Sean really isn't addressing Pat at all. He keeps saying he wants to get RJ the ball more. We talked about that. But it's just
Hmm.
completely ridiculous that we're not seeing our rookies more.
Right? Yeah, Pat Bryant. At least when he's out there, and again, it makes it even more puzzling as to why he's not more involved on the Dobbins touchdown. He made it really good, or not on the touchdown, but on his long rush before that, he made really good blocks downfield to really spring that open, and he does that consistently when he's on the field. I mean, there's no reason why he shouldn't be out there more. I would rather see him more than Lucas Kroll or Adam Troutman. That's for sure.
Yeah,
Um,
yep.
yeah, get him in those red zone plays. He's a big receiver. He can, Cortland Sutton's not our only jump ball guy, our only 50-50 guy.
Mhm.
Um, and especially when Cortland, of all people, was cooking like that yesterday, why is Pat Bryant not at least getting a couple snaps like that? Running a couple corner routes, big, over across the middle of the field.
Yeah, I mean he's a similar player to Vele, really. And Bo,
Yeah. Hmm.
that was kind of his. I felt like his kind of second like safety blanket apart from Sutton on last year's team, and I feel like you can definitely see that he's kind of missing that. That he has lots of other problems going on this year, but uh, I I don't see why he shouldn't be playing more. Like you said, his blocking has looked really good. I'm really starting to wonder um, if he shouldn't kind of take Sherfield's role in the offense, if they shouldn't flip roles kind of, because I feel like he's probably the better receiving talent, and he's looking like a perfectly fine blocker out there. And Sherfield, I didn't see him out there that much this past game, but he's played quite a bit the other two, and he's just been blocking. So couldn't hurt to get Brian out there, and maybe the defenses will try to account for him a little more.
Yeah, no one's on the Sherfield train more than me for sure, right? But yeah, I
Yeah,
agree 100%. I mean, that what really hurts is that Devon Vele um that we lost him because like you said, he was a safety blanket for Bo, especially when Big Court was getting doubled. Or just in general, he was a guy who could run a route, get you a first down. And Bo seemed really confident in just stepping in and ripping one to him down the seam a couple times last year. And the whole reason he was traded was because of Sean's confidence in the receiver room. But where's the confidence at? I don't see, again, like we've touched on earlier in the episode, who who really stepped up yesterday besides Cortland Sutton. Granted, there
nobody.
was some
Yeah,
overthrows. Mims could have had two touchdowns, but I mean, coulda, woulda, shoulda. What did we? Even in the screen game, Troy Franklin didn't do too much or made the plays that we would like to see. Marvin Mims was making plays in the return game, but he's also a receiver on this team, and
yeah,
you know nobody was really getting too open. So we can't put it all on Bo when Court was the only one who was open, or if he wasn't, everybody was just clamped up.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's just that trade is kind of, I feel like, being forgotten about, and it's definitely playing a part on the season so far. And hopefully we get Brian out there more. Hopefully we just kind of start utilizing. We haven't seen much of Mims rushing with the ball, and that was a huge thing that even if it didn't work for a big play, it opened up the offense a lot because the defense. You can't just leave Mims unguarded on that or not focus on him because if he gets the ball out of the backfield and there's nobody in front of him, he's gone.
Right, and that's something we saw a lot last year. Even though we would poke fun at it a lot when he would get the handoff, it would be a loss. But even then, him just lining up in the backfield, those little wheel routes, I haven't seen them run that even one time this season through 3 games when he's lined up in the backfield just on a simple wheel. It's something that seemed to work a lot last year. We haven't even tried to run it once.
I mean, last year, the second game against the Chargers in LA, Mims had, I'm pretty sure it was a pretty big game from him. And like you said, one of the catches was on a wheel route where he almost went all the way. It's
Right.
just,
If he wasn't wearing an undershirt, he would have scored.
yeah, exactly. Um, it's just, yeah, it's really confusing. Something else that Bo has never really had is a tight end, and that was supposed to be addressed this offseason. And so far, we've barely seen Ingram. And just kind of getting back to the point that Vele was his like second safety blanket is like big tight ends are kind of a rookie, a young QB's best friend. They're just a big target,
Right.
and they they're kind of always there, always around. And Bo has never had that, and I think that's definitely hurting him. Obviously,
Yeah, because he hasn't been on the same page with, especially Lucas Kroll. I mean, week one, he had one where he throws it in front of him or he throws it behind him and he asked him to sit. And then this week there was one where he sat and he threw it in front of him. So I'm not sure what's going on. There's a lot of disconnect there. But yeah,
yeah,
big difference in even just comparing the two offenses, at least from what I could see. When it was time to get a first down for the Chargers, when Herbert was dropping back, he had at least one or two guys, or he always had somebody who was going to be able to go to the sticks, sit, and he could hit him between the numbers and have a first down. Whereas Bo, it was kind of it had to be drawn up. We had to run a flea flicker to get somebody open, or it was a play that took a while to develop. We didn't really we had third and manageable where somebody needs to just sit, make a catch, be there for your quarterback, and that's hasn't been there last 3 games.
yeah, exactly. Something obviously is wrong with the offense. It's not playing how it should, especially with all the talk in the preseason. It's it just hasn't looked the same even as last year. Even though last game, especially, it was the same exact personnel, except running backs, I guess. But yeah, yeah, it's really confusing what's going on with the offense. Lots of stuff I feel like we could be helping, but we're not doing anything to help it. Um, and we gotta turn this around before it's too late, really.
Absolutely. I mean, we talked about it, and again, we touched on a lot of this in the prediction episode. This early season was just as important as the latter part of it. Now we're not going to face our divisional opponents for a while. I think the Chargers game, we don't play the Raiders till what it is, like week 10, 11, if I'm not mistaken. It's a while. So we have some games where we need to pick up some ground here. We're not going to get another shot at anybody, and we need to be ready for when those games start to ramp up. Either have a cushion in case we have another heartbreaker like this, or be able to extend our lead and really achieve what this team has set out very clearly as the goal is to win the AFC West. So they really can't drop these next two games. I think the Eagles
Yep.
won. It's expected that they do, but in my opinion, they really should be trying to go 2-0 here in the next 2 weeks.
I mean, yeah, the whole month of October here, we got Eagles, and we got Jets, Giants, and Cowboys. Really, like you said, three of those we should win if we want to be a team that's gonna make the playoffs and do something. The Eagles one, just go out there and compete at least. Again, though, it's kind of turning into not a must win, but it's one that we definitely need to win more than we thought we were gonna.
Yeah, for sure. Because even realistically, no one's going to take us too serious, and we shouldn't take this team too serious for beating the New York Giants or the New York Jets. I
Yeah,
mean, those are games that we should win, but it's not going to tell us anything about this team. Dallas too, probably, but I mean, eventually, if this team is what we think they are or what they say that they are, they need to go knock off a big team. And I think
exactly.
the Bengals doesn't count because they don't have Burrow. So why not? Why not go into Philadelphia and sneak out of there with a win? The Rams almost did. They had kind of a special teams gaffe that we're usually the victims of. So it's nice to see that that does indeed happen to another team that's not us.
Yeah,
But yeah, why not go in there and it shock some people? If this team really wants to be taken seriously, I think they're going to have to.
yeah, for sure. Um, so I mean that's kind of different stuff I got from the game. So key takeaways. Sutton, he looked really good. I loved what I saw from him. J.K. looked good. Um, our I would say a takeaway from this game that was good is just our veteran offensive players for the most part are looking really good. So I don't know about what you took away from this game, Joel, but that's what I got at least.
Yeah, I mean, kind of the same. I took away that um, Nick Bonito certainly today or yesterday kind of lived up to that contract. His explosiveness again in person is something incredible to see. That one play where he just completely flew by Alt, something that nobody in the past 3 games, including Max Crosby, has been able to do. So that's it's no short, no small accomplishment there. Coop also played a really good game. I think he's been kind of
He
not
did,
talked
yeah,
about. Jonathan Cooper played a great game yesterday as well, defensively. Um, and yeah, the biggest takeaway here is again, Broncos shoot themselves in the foot.
yeah, yep, yeah. I mean, it's we honestly kind of got a little lucky that the Titans kept messing up down the stretch, because we kind of
Yeah,
gave them open passes at the end.
they dropped a lot of
So
passes because Cam Ward was slinging it for
yeah,
sure. I mean, he
yeah,
was
he
really
was.
let down by his receiving core.
Yeah, it was just yeah.
Just keeps
Worries.
replaying the more I think about it. Is
Yeah,
not
exactly.
to cut you off, JTB, sorry, but it just
No,
keeps
you're good.
replaying in my head that opportunity we had, man. Like we're up 17-13. We're in the Chargers, home stadium. We have a chance to put them away right there. That's when this offense really should have taken hold of this game. All the momentum was on our side, and we just shoot ourselves in the foot. An offensive pass interference, and then he drops the ball in the end zone on top of that. That's a double whammy, and we don't even throw another ball into the end zone and settle for three and basically roll over and give this game back. It's really tough, really really tough.
Yeah, it was a brutal game to watch. Just super frustrating. Like you said, it was just tough and just so many missed opportunities. Something I'm not worried about per se, but something that is starting to creep up on my worry list is definitely Bo. He's not looking good. He's going backwards in progression right now. He's really got to get that confidence back. And I mean, again, he has the talent there, but if you can't get your mind right, your career can end. Even though you have that talent, if you can't put it on the field and can't get into your head that you're a good quarterback, and uh, I mean, yeah, it really seems like a big mental thing right now. And again, it's not something like I'm freaking out about or anything, but it's definitely starting to get a little worrisome.
Yeah, that's completely valid. A lot of people in the fan base are really freaking out about that. So, good on you for being level-headed there. Um, because yeah, it's definitely. I think it's a lot of the trauma that we have, especially with the Drew Lock situation, where when he was a rookie, he played really well, and then that sophomore year was a really tough time for him, especially. But I think Bo will be fine. It's really a confidence thing, and I think we have the perfect game coming up to rebuild that, and it's going to come at the perfect time because we have the champs on the road right after that. As far as an important stretch, like you said, the two New York teams in Dallas, where we should be 3-0 going into that. Um, he is pretty high up on the worry list, though. I mean, that's QB1. Hit our success or demise is going to lie pretty heavily on who's under center for
Oh yeah,
sure.
it's definitely it's not a very yeah. It's just I don't know what I'm really trying to say here. It's not something going into the season that anybody thought we'd really be worrying about, and it turns out it's kind of so far one of our biggest worries on the year, and um, it's a really big deal that Bo goes out there next week, and I mean I personally want to see at least 300 yards and at least two touchdowns, and the reason he doesn't get
Yep.
more touchdowns better just because we're running it in,
Right.
because
Mm-hmm.
he kind of needs a dominant performance here. I don't want to see another sub 200-yard game with one touchdown.
Yeah, absolutely. Completely agree there. And it sucks because, again, this, like you were saying, this was supposed to be one of our strengths here. This was the reason people were putting us in conversations to dethrone the Chiefs was because of Bo Nix and how good he was his rookie season and how much better he can be. If that's his floor, imagine how much better he could be. And now we're kind of seeing he could be a little worse than he was last year. But hopefully, we start to see that progression. It's not nothing that Sean Payton continues to have his back and even said in the press conference, keep slinging it. Just don't want to put the ball in harm's way. But yeah, I mean, this offense, they just all, it's really a cohesive thing. Bo did miss a couple throws, but it's nice to see that a couple guys also took accountability that they also weren't playing up to the standard that is needed to have an elite offense in this league.
My expectations for this year, like I've said in other podcasts, has been that we're gonna make the playoffs, and I really do think we can win playoff games. And right now, that's still the same expectation. It's getting a lot closer to being. Hopefully, we're a wild card team. But I still really do think we can be a playoff lock and get in there and win a game or two. I mean, really, what
Yeah,
we'd have to do for me to lose confidence in that is have next week somehow be a close game and then lose a really losing more than two games in the month of October is really gonna be a big loss because, like we talked about, really we should only have one loss in that month, and if it's gonna be to somebody, it should be the Eagles.
Yeah,
And if that's not who we lose to, that's definitely gonna be concerning. It's definitely gonna be a problem.
for sure. And this team even said last year they experienced it firsthand. Going into Buffalo as a seven seed is not easy task, especially in the playoffs. This team needs to go and host some games, and to host games, you have to win the division. Right now, the Chargers just walked down all three of the other teams, so this team has to go. We had our chance at them. We have to go and respond now. Best we can do is try to keep pace at this point. Um, like you said, and like we keep reiterating, reemphasizing, we have to go and make a statement Monday night. What better time to do it? At home,
Exactly.
and we only had one home game. We went on the road 2 weeks in a row. So now that we're back in front of our fans, maybe that's the juice that this team needs to get the ship on course.
And I'm kind of feeling like next week it's gonna be prime time game. I think we're probably gonna break out maybe a new uniform combo. It's just gonna be the perfect time to have a nice little offensive breakout.
For sure. And I think we will. Not to
Yeah,
jump the gun here. I know it stings. I mean, these past 2 weeks have been really dreadful and exhausting to be a Broncos fan, but there's more to come. I think this team
oh yeah, for
hasn't
sure.
hasn't peaked. I don't think we're gonna be that team that everyone overhypes and we just underdelivered. Definitely not the 13, 14 win team that some of us were thinking. Some of us optimistic fans, I should say. But I think we could still reach 11, 12.
Yeah,
I
for
really
sure.
do think that the schedule favors us, and if we really play to the ability that we're able to, we can get there. And another controversial topic here. Hopefully, our signings come back and put it together. Um,
Yes.
Mr. Joker, Evan Ingram, and Dre Greenlaw. I mean, I hope that putting him on IR was really the right thing to do, and that he's going to come back 100% and be the beast of a player that we all know he is and can be. And if he is that for this defense, sky's the limit. But again, this is things that kind of hypothetical right now. Because as of right now, Evan Ingram's been missing in action or catching one pass and getting hurt. Not a great
Yeah.
recipe for a tight end. And then Dre just needs to get healthy, and we need to see him out there in the blue and orange.
Yeah, I mean those two. If those two can be healthy, really sky's the limit. Evan Ingram healthy, being a threat is just gonna be so huge for the whole offense. It's something that we signed him for is to come out there and play, especially divisional games like the one we just had, and we didn't have him, and it really did show on offense that we didn't have uh, one of the better tight ends in the league really out there.
Yeah,
So I mean, something I kind of forgot to get to that I did want to talk about is seeing a new face kind of on defense every once in a while at least. We talked about CAD, but I mean I would love to see Reed get some snaps out there. If we call up Bailey for a game, I'd love to see him out there. I just want to see some new faces rotate into that linebacker room. I think it's something that it can't hurt at all. And uh, I mean, I don't know about you, but I really would love to see us put in some new linebackers every once in a while.
yeah. I mean, I hope so too. But just knowing this coaching staff, it's kind of hard. It's kind of wishful thinking for something like that.
Yeah,
But I mean, you can't get much worse linebacker play. So what's the worst that
yeah,
can
for sure.
happen? I'm with you in that camp.
Exactly.
Like
Yeah,
for sure, why not? Let's see what the exciting young talent can do because right now we have someone who is experienced, is a veteran, is a captain, and we just have to put it as it is. Quite plainly, he is a liability on defense,
exactly. Yep.
and other teams definitely know that. And Justin Herbert
Oh yeah.
dissected that. Jim Harbaugh dissected that, and because that's where all their play was. They took a couple shots at certain and they tried to go deep on a couple things, but really when they were driving down the field, there's a reason they had 20 more first downs than us. It's
Hmm.
because
Yeah,
they knew our linebackers would not be able to make a play right there in the middle of the
yeah,
field.
yeah. The Colts really exposed that. And that's something we got to get fixed. Because it will be a problem even against teams like I mean, against any team really. It's a big problem, and if teams abuse it right, it can change the game. Um, it's something we got to fix.
Yeah,
All
100%.
right,
And I
so
think Bailey and Reed are both really good. I mean, in the preseason, they showed a lot of promise. I don't see why we can't give them a chance now, especially going into this crucial moment. I mean, it would be worse to throw them out there when we're sitting here Christmas Eve at Arrowhead. All of a sudden, knock on wood, somebody gets hurt. Um, and now we have to throw them in against Patrick Mahomes, right? So why not give them a chance right now?
um, especially we're playing, like we said, we're playing Jake Browning next week. If there's a time to kind of try to get some new players involved, it's next week. So
Yep, absolutely, absolutely.
next week, I guess we can kind of just do this now if you want to. Broncos winning, or what do you think's happening next week?
Oh man. um yeah, I hope so. I mean, we need to. I'd say it's hard to really get the motivation or I guess the hype to really say what I would probably say if you asked me this question on Friday or Saturday. But yeah, I think the Broncos win and the Broncos win handedly. I mean, gonna be back in the Mile High. Um, just seeing what the Vikings did to Jake Browning, I think we are better than the Vikings, and we can do some damage to this team. I think finally this is gonna be the game where we can piece it all together. So I'd say Broncos win 38-10.
38-10. Okay, okay. Yeah. Fully agree with everything you said. Really, I'm still really confident in this game, and if they somehow let me down, I'm gonna be the biggest doomer in the world. Because it's just not a game we. It's not. Oh man, I'm forgetting how to talk here. It's a game where we
It's all good. It was a
like.
rough Sunday.
Yeah, yeah. Lost some brain cells there for sure. It's a game where we gotta go out and win, like we've been saying. Gotta go win handedly. So I would say I got us probably. Uh, I'll say 35-7. Well, no, I'll say six. We're not gonna give up a touchdown. How about that?
Ooh, okay. Yeah,
So
I like it.
yeah. Well, I mean, you never know though. If backups end up going in, then it's kind of whatever. But our starting
Yeah,
defense
some
really they
garbage
shouldn't give
time
up a
is why I gave
touchdown.
him 10.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I mean,
Say with
unless
that.
if you got unless if you got anything more to talk about, I think we're kind of done here.
Yeah, no, I think we need to be just like Denver Broncos. Move on.
Yeah, yep, for
Sucks
sure.
to have to recap. It sucks how close we were. We're a no call on a leverage penalty, and one of those Bo Nix passes hitting from being 3-0. And
Yep,
it's in the past now, so let's move on to Cincinnati. Let's go get a blowout. Let's get back on track.
yep, for sure. All right, so thank you guys so much for watching. Really appreciate it. I'll leave Joel's Twitter link. Uh, great Broncos Twitter user out there. Go check him out. And I'll see you guys next week. Hope everybody has a great week, and see you guys later.